So, dear colleagues, we are continuing our debate and our discussions. We will move now to the next topic of our agenda, which is a debate on the Conference on the Future of Europe. We have today with us, and it's a great honor and a privilege, one of us, former mayor, today Vice President of the European Commission, Ms. Dubravka Šuica, and it's a real privilege because, as I said earlier, she's a former mayor, twice elected mayor of Dubrovnik, and so it's a discussion, since she will be responsible for the Conference on the Future of Europe. It will be a discussion with someone who understands what we have been discussing throughout these last days and today. The fact that if we want to speak of a future of Europe, then we need more democracy. And more democracy means more involvement for the regions and the cities. So I'm really happy we had a very fruitful meeting earlier together, and let me thank you for addressing our institution today, Vice President, during this first meeting in our mandate, and only a few days after the Commission adopted the communication on the Conference of the Future of Europe. We welcome your call to engage with the representatives of the regional and local authorities and with the European Committee of the Regions. Europe must change to be closer to its citizens, capable of listening to them, addressing their real needs, and act to make their lives better. This is why we exist, and this is why the European Union exists. We have to rebuild trust, though. We have to rebuild trust and faith to the people, and this can only be done through representativeness and inclusiveness. And of course, regions and cities can play better than anyone else this role. Let me send a warning signal in today's meeting. If it is not to be another disappointment, the Conference on the Future of Europe must be open and inclusive. It must avoid being top-down, centralized in Brussels. This would only generate more mistrust and increase the gap between the European institutions and the citizens. If the three main institutions are serious about turning the conference from an institutional debate into a tool to put citizens first, they need to take on board local and regional elected politicians. We, 329 of us, represent 1 million directly elected politicians. We will assure that the conference can build on the work done by the task force on subsidiarity, in which we were very active. EU's legitimacy must be based on the representativeness ensured by all its elected European politicians from local, regional, national and EU levels. If the Union fails to count on all its elected representatives, it will fail in rebuilding trust, and the discussion about the future will fail as well. So I'm really happy because after our meeting today, I see a woman, a politician, that is determined to do the exact opposite of what we are afraid that might happen in the discussion on the future of Europe. So, I give you the floor, and I welcome you warmly again, and I'm certain that we will have a great collaboration together in the months and the years to come. Thank you.
Dear President Tsikostas, dear members, before I start, let me thank you on being elected to this very, very important role, and looking forward to our cooperation in future. Let me thank you for inviting me here today to address this constitutive plenary session of the Committee of Regions. As you already heard, as a former mayor myself, it is a particular pleasure to meet with you, all of you regional and local representatives. As I said, I'm looking forward to work with you during your presidency of the Committee of the Regions, and I wish you best of the luck. As you know, you mentioned that we adopted a few weeks ago. It was 22nd of January when the College adopted a communication on the Conference on the Future of Europe. As you know, the communication is based on the President von der Leyen political guidelines and the European Council strategic agenda. We have to put a question: why are we doing this at all? Why are we starting this conference? This is a key question. The answer is important. The impetus behind the Conference on the Future of Europe is that citizens are asking to have a greater say in policy making beyond elections, not only once in 4 years, not only once in 5 years, but we must respond to this call and to be in constant dialogue with citizens. As part of that response, I am committed to visiting regions in my role as Vice President, and I want to hear from citizens from all corners of the European Union, not just the capitals. So we are not going only to capitals, we will visit regions, we will visit peripheria, we will visit mountains, islands. So my first message to you today is clear. We want to make a success of the Conference on the Future of Europe. Don't doubt in it. We can only do this with the full support of the Committee of the Regions. We need you as our partner. This is my key message today. We have the capacity to mobilize 1 million local politicians. 1 million politicians are elected. Let me say that figure again. 1 million local and regional politicians. We are talking about over 70 regional legislative assemblies, 240 regions, 80,000 local authorities. These people are key in reaching out to all citizens. I see them all as our partners. The resolution you have adopted today provides us with a solid basis for our partnership. I welcome your commitment to promote debates on EU issues in regional parliaments and municipal councils. I like your idea of being decentralized and going beyond the national capitals. I agree with your view that a particular focus on young people is necessary. However, let's not treat them as a separate entity. They are an integral part of the process. I support your call for a bottom-up debate you mentioned in your introductory statement. I will also support your call to be an integral part of any governance structure relating to the conference. Most of all, I note your intention to sign the joint declaration. This is the good news I was waiting for. It shows true commitment on your side, as well as courage. After all, this is a new and innovative process. We haven't done anything similar before at this level. I also look forward in March on local and regional authorities in the permanent dialogue with citizens. I'm looking for your opinion. Thank you to the members of the CIVEX Commission for your work on this. Where are we now? What are our next steps? As I said, the Commission has presented a communication on the Conference on the Future of Europe. The European Parliament has adopted its resolution. The Council is advancing in its work. There is no time to waste, no time to lose. Although we have already started consulting and listening, there is broad agreement to officially launch the conference on 9th of May. We would like to launch it in Dubrovnik under the Croatian presidency. The next step must focus on the joint declaration. Why? Joint declaration among three institutions, Council, Commission and the Parliament. Because this declaration will formalize the details on the conference. It will bring together these three institutions, all focused on a common goal. Others can also commit to its guiding principles. I believe that we can already agree that the process must be guided by non-negotiable principles such as inclusiveness, openness. It must be interactive and structured in order to make it a legitimate success in the end. Most of all, I believe that predetermining the outcome would cause more damage to democracy than if we did nothing at all. So, of course, some guidelines or some guidance is necessary in order to structure the debate and facilitate the feedback. Let us not underestimate the task ahead. It is a real challenge, but we are not starting from scratch. We can build on the 1,850 citizens' dialogues held over the last 5 years. The only problem with these dialogues was that there was not feedback mechanism. So now we are establishing the feedback mechanism of the process, which is very important, and it was a missing element in the citizens' dialogues. We must ensure that citizens can see the impact they have had on policy making. This will be our benchmark for the success. President von der Leyen has committed to ensuring follow-up, and I intend to see it through. Another essential element is the new multilingual digital platform. We see this multilingual digital platform as the one-stop shop for all information on the conference and related events. It should ensure maximum transparency and openness for all citizens. What do we discuss? What are we going to discuss? So when these details are in place, what do we talk about? How we decide this? These are important questions too. We must provide structure to enable discussion and feedback, as I already said. This is not preempting the debate or results. So we don't want to preempt, we don't know to know the results. We agree on two clear categories. One is policy and other is institutional. Why institutional? If we want to approach 2024 elections with clear rules, we have to know as soon as possible what are the rules relating to transnational lists and to Spitzenkandidat process or lead candidate process. This is the reason why we have to have two strands, one institutional, which is maybe less important, and another one which is policy regarding daily issues. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, we have started a deliberative democracy process at European level. We have not done this before, but we have some experience to build on. The deliberative democracy train is leaving the station, and the European Union must be on it. That is one topic not contested. The citizens are clear on that. There are other details that need to be ironed out. This includes how we communicate on the conference to the citizens. A unique common identity will make it instantly recognizable for all citizens and partners. It is vital that each and every one of us takes ownership of the conference. So the ownership of the conference will be held by all of us, not only Commission, not the Council, not the Parliament, but also Committee of the Regions. Each one of us with our own valuable contribution and role in the process. I began my speech with the word partnership, and I will end it by saying that you have a partner in me as Vice President for Democracy and Demography. I will come back again. I will try to again discuss the demographic challenges that we must tackle together. This is another part of my portfolio which is also very, very important. For now, I would like to hear from you the voices of the regions across the European Union about the conference on the future of Europe, and I may answer some of your questions. So thank you once again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vice President. I think that we should now start with our political group representatives first. Mr. Geblevich from the EPP.
Dear Vice President, welcome. Dobrodošli on behalf of EPP COR Group. As someone who has the experience of managing cities requests, in your city you have the full legitimacy to lead the way forward on the future of Europe, and you have our full support on that. We in the EPP COR see a great need for shared ownership in this conference between different levels of governance in Europe and in all EU institutions and bodies. So I appreciate that this is the way you are going to work. This requires a lot of coordination and consensus. I am optimistic that we will achieve it in the name of our citizens, for prosperity of our regions and for the future of our Union. Therefore, EPP supports the idea of joint declaration on the conference, but we think that the COR should co-sign this text, because democracy, it is not only European issue. It has its European, national, as well as local dimension. So it is our expectation, I would say. Madam Vice President, in the front of you, you stand a house of members, not house of cards, house of members, who are directly accountable to the people and stand close to their concerns. I believe that the input of the COR will be one of the pillars to transform the conference from an interinstitutional into a truly bottom-up consultation. So thank you for your declarations that you see it in the same way. Besides that, we can count, as our president and you said, for more than 1 million of regional local elected representatives in the EU, in our regional councils, assemblies and parliaments. And we will support them to organize town hall events with the citizens. So thank you for your declarations that you want to be together with us in our cities. Thank you very much. Many of our regions and cities have established new participative tools to engage people in their policy choices. EPP COR is of the opinion that the time has come to recognize those tools and to use them in public consultations in the next 2 years. And this will be also a way to bring back the interest of young people in the European Union and our ability to reform. Dear colleagues, I believe that the COR with its 6 commissions should use its competences to structure the output of citizens' consultations in proposal for action. This will help us to produce long-term, tangible and concrete ideas which could evolve into legislative proposals. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Geblevich. I would like now to move to the PES representative, Mrs. Honey. Brigitte.
Sehr geehrte Frau Kommissarin Šuica, vielen Dank für die Vorstellung Ihrer Pläne. Im Namen meiner Fraktion der SPE bin ich gespannt auf den Fortgang der Verhandlungen zwischen dem Europäischen Rat, dem Europäischen Parlament und der Kommission über die Konferenz zur Zukunft der EU und hoffe, dass sich die Vorgaben für die Funktionsweise der Konferenz noch etwas weiter konkretisieren werden, nicht zuletzt im Hinblick auf die Rolle der subnationalen Gebietskörperschaften und des ADR. Unser Präsident hat auch darauf hingewiesen. Die Themen, die die Kommission vorgeschlagen hat, sind ein guter Ausgangspunkt für die Zukunftsdiskussion. Natürlich muss die Liste offen sein, damit die Bürgerinnen und Bürger sich wirksam einbringen können. Dasselbe gilt auch für die regionalen und die nationalen Parlamente. Sie müssen mehr sein als eine Plattform für Bürgerdebatten. Ich glaube aber auch, dass die grundsätzliche Frage nicht so sehr ist, welche Themen die Menschen bewegen. Da herrscht trotz aller nationaler und vielleicht auch regionaler Nuancen doch weitgehende Übereinstimmung. Es geht um den Kampf gegen den Klimawandel, der sozial gerecht gestaltet sein muss und auf die Innovationsfähigkeit der Menschen in den Städten und Regionen setzt. Es geht um die Bekämpfung von sozialen Ungleichheiten und den territorialen Zusammenhalt. Es geht um die Umwälzung, welche die Digitalisierung, die Migration, aber auch die Alterungsprozesse unserer Gesellschaften mit sich bringen. Und es geht um die Rolle Europas in der Welt und darum, wie unsere politischen, sozialen und wirtschaftlichen Systeme auf all diese Veränderungen reagieren können, ohne die Spaltung zu vertiefen. Vor diesem Hintergrund ist klar, dass sich die Konferenz vor allem damit befassen muss, welche Prozesse, Politiken und Instrumente die Europäische Union braucht, um auf diese Fragen Antworten geben zu können. Das und nichts anderes erwarten die Bürgerinnen und Bürger von uns, den politisch Handelnden der verschiedenen Ebenen. Es geht also nicht um eine Selbstbespiegelung der Europäischen Union und ihrer Institutionen. Aber gerade vor dem Hintergrund der als gemeinsam identifizierten Aufgaben muss sich die Konferenz insbesondere auch mit der Frage befassen, unter welchen institutionellen Bedingungen und mit welchen Ressourcen die EU in die Lage versetzt werden kann, die aktuellen Herausforderungen zu bewältigen. Dabei ist aus unserer Sicht völlig klar, dass auch Debatten über Vertragsveränderungen kein Tabu sein können. Wichtig ist auch, dass von Anfang an klar sein muss, welche Art von Ergebnissen erzielt werden sollen und wie mit ihnen umgegangen werden wird. Wir als SPE-Fraktion haben deshalb eine Reihe von Änderungsanträgen zum gemeinsamen Entschließungsentwurf eingebracht, die deutlich machen: Die Konferenz sollte als klares Ziel die Formulierung von konkreten Vorschlägen für Gesetzgebung oder Vertragsänderungen haben, die in einem nächsten Schritt im Vorfeld der Europawahlen 2024 diskutiert werden müssen und dann als Ausgangsbasis für einen zukünftigen Konvent dienen sollten. Uns ist dabei auch wichtig, dass wir den vom Europäischen Parlament vorgeschlagenen doppelten Ansatz unterstützen, nämlich auf der einen Seite ein Konferenzplenum, in dem die Institutionen und auch der ADR angemessen vertreten sind, und auf der anderen Seite ein System von möglichst weitreichenden, dezentralen und vielschichtigen Bürgerdialogen, die ihrerseits mit dem Konferenzplenum aufs engste verzahnt sein müssen. Nur so könnte die Konferenz wirklich zur Mobilisierung der Bürgerinnen und Bürger für eine neue Phase europäischer Integration beitragen. Dafür brauchen wir aber die klare Unterstützung der anderen Institutionen und nicht zuletzt der Kommission in ihrer Rolle als Motor der europäischen Einigung. Sehr geehrte Frau Kommissarin, vielen herzlichen Dank.
Thank you. We will now move to the representative from the Renew Europe, Mr. De Coster.
Merci, Monsieur le Président, Madame la Vice-présidente, mes chers collègues. Autant vous le dire, Madame la Vice-présidente, le fait que Madame von der Leyen vous ait confié au sein du Collège la responsabilité de discuter avec les institutions européennes de l'organisation de la conférence sur l'avenir de l'Europe a été une bonne nouvelle pour nous. Nous en sommes félicités. Votre parcours, la mairie de Dubrovnik, la vice-présidence du Congrès des pouvoirs locaux, tout nous incitait à considérer qu'il y avait là un geste fort fait vers les représentants des autorités locales et régionales. Malheureusement, à espoir vif, désespoir ou déception vive quand nous voyons aujourd'hui le sort qui nous est réservé. Quand un député européen sur 5 siégera à l'Assemblée plénière de la conférence, quand 100% des gouvernements seront participants, évidemment, à l'Assemblée plénière, et que 3 commissaires sur 27 siégeront, eh bien, seul 1 sur 100 de nos membres pourra participer. Voilà aujourd'hui la manière dont est considéré le partenariat que vous appeliez de vos vœux et le soutien plein et entier que vous espériez. Non, Madame la vice-présidente, nous vous demandons de revoir avec le Parlement européen et le Conseil la copie. Non pas que nous souhaitons défendre une position institutionnelle, mais tout simplement parce que nous croyons véritablement en l'utilité, j'allais dire en la nécessité impérieuse du succès de la conférence qui est ainsi envisagée. Non seulement pour pouvoir apporter la contribution des autorités locales et régionales, le quotidien que nous avons partagé ensemble un temps lorsque vous étiez maire, mais aussi parce que nous en sommes convaincus, nous allons mettre en place ensuite un certain nombre des mesures qui vont être proposées au moment de la conférence. Et vous trouverez ici sur ces bancs nombre d'élus qui viendraient volontiers participer à la réflexion de la conférence. Notre collègue Raït Pielgas, par exemple, travaille à écrire en ce moment un rapport sur l'utilisation des nouvelles technologies pour pouvoir renforcer la démocratie participative. Et bien d'autres. Je pourrais parler des expériences des correspondants Europe que j'ai mis en place dans mon agglomération. Je pourrais vous parler du programme Erasmus pour les élus locaux que j'ai à de nombreuses reprises essayé de porter auprès de vos prédécesseurs au sein du collège des commissaires. Voilà, Madame la vice-présidente, le mot que nous essayons de vous faire passer aujourd'hui. Essayez de revoir la copie. Nous pensons pouvoir être utiles pendant la conférence, mais surtout, nous pensons pouvoir être utiles après la conférence. Je vous remercie.
Merci beaucoup. Let's go now to the ECR with Mr. Droba.
Dear Mr. President, thank you for the floor. Dear Madam Commissioner, I would like to welcome you today in the European Committee of the Regions on behalf of the ECR Group. I know you are here today to discuss with us the conference on the future of Europe, and I would like to make some suggestions linked to your portfolio and the severe demographic crisis which is going on in Europe. The impact of demographic change on regions needs to be one of the main topics of the conference. I represent a capital metropolitan region, Bratislava, which is affected by demographic changes massively and dramatically. There is a huge trend of internal migration towards capital cities, which has enormous impact on infrastructures and increases the demand for quality of public services. One of the most negative consequences of demographic change is poverty. Capital regions like Bratislava have to cope with a growing number of homeless people, migrants, and working poverty. According to the EU data, children are the most vulnerable group in Slovakia. The aging population in Bratislava region will double and even triple in some of the parts of the region, and Slovakia will be one of the oldest EU countries in 50 years, according to the Eurostat prognosis. At the same time, 33% of jobs are threatened by automation in my country, so we need to invest in professions which are linked to human care, which can also help us to prevent further brain drain. European Commission have to empower regions with smart policies and just funding to address these difficult challenges. I hope that the conference on the future of Europe will focus to a large extent on this topic because our citizens expect debates that will help solve their real-life problems. They do not want more debates on technicalities of electoral systems or other issues that are of little concern to them. The demographic crisis is something that Europeans feel very strongly about. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're going now to Ms. Haapanen from the Greens.
Yes, Mr. President, Mrs. Vice President of the Commission, when we talk about the future of Europe, we should first ask ourselves, who are the real experts on designing it? The answer is, it is youth and children. And actually, they have already said what they want. They want clean environment, they want climate change to be stopped, and they want, not surprisingly, to play in peace. It means that they want a safe environment to be children and grow to become responsible adults. That is their right, and that we must guarantee as adults now and in the future. And now, when we know what the children and youth want for the future of Europe, for their future, we need only to find the tools and methods how to get the good design to become real. I will speak in Finnish now. Kaupungissani Oulussa meillä on tapana kysyä lapsilta ja nuorilta heidän ideoitaan kaupungin kehittämiseksi. On monta tapaa tehdä tämä. Esimerkiksi olemme ottaneet nuoret mukaan päätöksentekoelimiimme. Myös paikallispoliitikkomme, kaupunginvaltuutettumme ovat halukkaita menemään kouluille ja kadulle tapaamaan nuoria oppiakseen, mitä nuoret ajattelevat tulevaisuudesta. Nuorissa on paljon potentiaalia kehittää uusia osallisuuden ja demokratian menetelmiä ja uudenlaisia tapoja tehdä päätöksiä. And now in English. We, the Greens, believe that the Committee of Regions and locally and regionally elected politicians, these million people that you are talking about, we can be one effective tool when we want participation and implementation of the good ideas and purposes in a local level. That is why the Greens, among the other parties here, it seems, we are here to encourage very much the Commission and the Council to listen with a sensitive ear what people in the regions and communities, young and old, have to say, and to take into account seriously the new tools and methods for promoting democracy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The EA now, please, with Mr. McCarthy.
Dear Vice Commissioner, can I thank you for your frankness and your genuineness to begin with. Can I say, I think the Committee of the Regions' principal worry is that we're not going to have a seat on the Conference of the Future of Europe. And I think we're all standing before you with that frustration and that concern. And you've rightly mentioned we represent 1 million people. And even yesterday, the Committee of the Regions launched a book. And there's 230 pages of ideas and 25 years of experience crammed into the book. And we're just worried that you're not going to harness that and that we won't actually have a voice. And also the conference, it'll only make sense if it actually leads to tangible results and an outcome which actually will create a positive change in citizens' lives. And I am delighted to hear that this is not what I call a box-ticking exercise, that this is actually taken very serious by the College of Commissioners. I'd also like to refer to the Civics Commission and a colleague of mine within the European Alliance, Maria Borrell. She's a rapporteur and she's currently preparing an opinion on establishing a permanent structured dialogue with citizens. And I would ask that perhaps you actually take a read of that kind of short opinion. It might help you. We think the conference might be an ideal opportunity to pilot some of the ideas within the opinion, and we are very, very happy to share your proposals once the opinion is adopted in May this year. So I would appeal to you, and I know it's also something that our President and our Vice President have been calling for in the last few hours since their election, that we need a seat on the Conference of the Future of Europe. And thank you for your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We now go to our first Vice President, Vasco Cordeiro.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Madam Commissioner, President von der Leyen stated that, and I quote, "Our union's democratic system is unique, bringing together directly elected parliamentarians at local, regional, national, and European levels with elected heads of state or government. The Commission," end of quote. The Commission, in its communication on subsidiarity, said, quote, "The task force on subsidiarity proposed a new way of working based on active subsidiarity and the more dynamic engagement of all stakeholders and all government levels throughout the policy cycle. These would mark an important change in the European Union's policy process, bringing greater quality and legitimacy to the laws it adopts," end of quote. It also said, and I quote, "It is essential that the 41 national parliament chambers, 74 regional legislative assemblies, the 280 regions and the 80,000 local authorities who are at the forefront of implementing EU laws are more fully engaged in the policy process." Your speech here today and all of this makes the case for the Committee of the Regions be present in the Conference of the Future of Europe with an equal status like any other institution. So, Madam Commissioner, the case is made for our presence. Madam Commissioner, the question is not why and how we should be in the Conference on the Future of Europe. Right now, the question is, why is the Committee of the Regions being excluded from a full participation in the Conference on the Future of Europe? This is my question to you. Thank you.
I would suggest that the Vice President answers so far, and then we continue on with... Yes.
Thank you for your suggestions. Thank you for your questions. And this will be a very valuable contribution to final joint agreement on behalf of 3 institutions. What I wanted to tell you, let me start from the last question, which was, why are you excluded? You are not excluded. This is not true. This is not true. If you read Commission's contribution on shaping the communication on the Conference on the Future of Europe, you quoted, yes. But we have to start from somewhere, as I said, and we have to have solid basis. So this basis will be done in this institution, Parliament, Commission, and the Council, which means your respective member states, 27 of them now. If I may be open enough or sincere enough, I used to be a member of this House for 6.5 years. And the resolution which was adopted here, not here, but in Strasbourg, on 15th of January, this resolution is very, very ambitious, if I may be open enough. It is very ambitious, and the structure is relatively complex. But it is only the resolution of the European Parliament. You have another communication from the Commission, on behalf of which I am in lead, together with my dear colleagues Šefčovič and Jourova. And then we have Council. So we are looking forward to the meeting of Mr. Sassoli, Madam Ursula von der Leyen, and Mr. Charles Michel, in order to agree upon joint declaration of or memorandum of understanding, however we will call this. And this will be the starting point, which doesn't mean that you will be excluded. You are included. But you read from the resolution, you read this member of commissioners, Mr. De Coster. You read number of commissioners, number of national parliamentarians, role of Committee of Regions. This doesn't mean that this will be the final document. This is the idea which was proposed by your colleagues, also from your political family, and they were very happy with this. So it was adopted in European Parliament by a vast majority, which doesn't mean that it will be the final basic document. So this is how I understand this process. We don't have time to waste, as I said, we don't have time to lose, so we have to do it within the next week or two. So these three important institutions and their presidents, they will agree upon this. The other day they met in the vicinity of Paris, and they started this debate, but still they haven't finalized this document. Regarding the topics, the topics are not limited. I was mentioning political guidelines of European Commission and strategic agenda of European Council. If I may repeat, I know that you know these 6 guidelines, but let me tell you. The first one, European Green Deal, which you were mentioning, sorry for not knowing your name, but Mrs. Birgit Hone. You mentioned European Green Deal, then you have digital agenda, then you have strong Europe in the world, then you have economy that works for people. You have also European way of life, whatever someone can understand under this title. And then you have new push for European democracy. These 6 guidelines of this commission, they cover almost all the topics. And together with strategic agenda of European Council. But it doesn't mean that the topics are limited. So whoever wants to raise any topic will be allowed to do this. So conference itself. The title might be misleading for someone. Conference doesn't mean one conference. It means series of different conferences, roundtables, different fora, so different events, which will be branded as the Conference on the Future of Europe. So once this will be branded as the conference, then we can proceed. I mentioned multilingual digital platform. So everything should be there, and it should be open for each and every citizen, not in capitals, not only in villages, but also on islands, on mountains, wherever, all over Europe. This is the idea. So we wouldn't have started this very, very complex exercise if we hadn't believed in its success. I have to reiterate once again. So the difference between citizens' dialogues and this conference will be feedback exercise. If we don't have tangible results in the end of the exercise, it won't be successful. But we are looking forward to the success, and this is the reason why we have to establish common guidelines. I'll tell you an example. Even a living room debate can be branded as the Conference on the Future of Europe. So we have to believe in all institutions, we have to believe in our citizens, we have to have common guidelines, and then to have feedback, which in the end can be translated into concrete legislation if necessary, into concrete political actions. I didn't want to mention treaty change here, but if you have read carefully what are the political guidelines and what was the political introductory statement from Ursula von der Leyen, if citizens think that we need treaty change, we will debate, but it will be the last option because we have enough legislation, and we think that we have to use the existing legislation. Regarding institutional matters, I mentioned in my introductory speech, if we start debating institutional issues, citizens won't be happy. As you are representative of citizens, and you told me now that you won't be happy if we start debating institutional things. But we have to know how are we approaching 2024, and this is the reason why one strand of this conference will be dealing with institutional issues, but the majority of issues and topics will be about daily issues, about political guidelines, about the concerns, hopes, fears of our citizens. So everything will be covered. So we rely on you. Without Committee of the Regions, without local and regional authorities, we would not be able to do this exercise. This exercise won't be possible. Regarding Commission, the role of Commission is the role of honest broker. It is the role of facilitator. So Commission cannot do anything itself. So Parliament is important, I know, European Parliament, but national parliaments are even more important. And of course, once we are in Belgium, regional parliaments. So they are very, very important, and we cannot avoid them. So you don't need to doubt, but we have to start from somewhere, and the reason for this joint declaration among three institutions is this one. So this will be the starting point. So Committee of the Regions is not neglected. As I said at the beginning, you are the most important partner, and this is what I can tell you at this stage of the process. I cannot say more at this moment because I don't know. And once again, the preemption of the results is not possible. Nobody knows what will be the results. But we, as I said, we would like to start the conference during Croatian presidency, and we would land during French presidency. You know that Grand Débat was going on in France. It was also successful. So one of the role models can be this. There are different role models all over Europe. I started visiting regions. I was in Estonia, in Latvia, the other day in Eupen here in Belgium. Tonight I'm traveling to Castile and Leon in Spain. So we are trying to find best practices which are already inaugurated on the ground. So that doesn't mean that this will be top-bottom, but it will be bottom-up exercise. And it won't be monologue as I'm now trying to impose on you. It will be a listening exercise. We have to listen to citizens. As I said, they don't want to be heard only once in 4 or 5 years. They want to be heard all the time. This is the reason for establishing this multilingual digital platform. And we want to be in constant dialogue, but first listening. And this is what I'm assigned to do according to my mission letter, which was dedicated to me from President of the Commission. So without communication, without cooperation, this exercise won't be possible, and the outcome won't be success. So I'm not negative on this. I heard some maybe negative assumptions, but if you read properly the communication from Commission, not only the resolution of the Parliament. I see that everybody read resolution of the Parliament, but some of you haven't read our communication. So we are on equal footing, and let's see what will Council say in a few days, and then I think we will continue this debate, and don't doubt on our very frank and sincere ideas and our frank and open and, as I said, transparent approach. So thank you.
Mr. Spijk. Mr. Spijk, please.
Sehr geehrte Frau Vizepräsidentin, vielen Dank, dass Sie noch einmal bekräftigt haben, dass der ADR ein Teil des Prozesses sein soll. Nun gibt es unterschiedliche Arten, Teil eines Prozesses zu sein. Man kann ein Instrument sein, um Reichweite in einem Beteiligungsprozess zu schaffen. Man kann aber auch Teil der strategischen Gestaltung eines Prozesses sein. Und ich glaube, die Mitglieder dieses Gremiums hier wollen auch Teil der strategischen Gestaltung sein. Für uns ist das Entscheidende nicht nur der Listening-Prozess. Für uns ist das Entscheidende die Konsequenzen, die man aus diesem Prozess zieht, die strategischen, politischen Konsequenzen. Und hier wollen wir beteiligt sein und hier würden wir uns wünschen, dass der ADR institutioneller Teil dieses Prozesses ist. Vielen Dank.
Thank you. Mr. Iguía Arisqueta, please.
Muchas gracias, señora vicepresidenta, por la visita que va a hacer mañana a nuestra comunidad y por el planteamiento que se ha hecho de la conferencia. Pero quería remarcar en esta breve intervención la importancia de que el Comité de las Regiones esté presente, entre otras cosas porque regiones como la nuestra, con un reto demográfico tan importante, regiones que tienen problemas financieros, porque tenemos que dar servicios sociales, sanidad, educación a 2,5 millones de habitantes en 95.000 kilómetros cuadrados, regiones que tienen, a raíz de eso, problemas de igualdad, porque no pueden gestionar su futuro, porque no pueden hacer políticas de inversión de futuro, porque tienen que gastar casi el 70% de su presupuesto en prestar esos servicios sociales, tienen también un problema político y un problema político para toda la Unión Europea, porque estas regiones que tienen pocos representantes en los parlamentos nacionales se sienten abandonadas en los parlamentos nacionales y solamente instituciones como el Comité de las Regiones son capaces de elevar la voz de estas regiones y evitar problemas políticos como los que han surgido. Solo hay que ver el mapa de la votación del Brexit en las zonas rurales, en las zonas desiertas de nuestra Europa. Señora Šuica, si no sacamos la conclusión de que ciudadanos no son solo los que viven en las ciudades, no tendremos futuro en esta Unión Europea. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Mr. Karaksony, please.
Tisztelt Šuica alelnök asszony, elnök úr, kedves kollégák! Amikor Európa jövőjéről beszélünk, mindenképpen beszélnünk kell a demográfiai változásról, és az ezzel járó kihívásról, ahogyan előttem erről Mr. Droba is beszélt. Két dologra hívnám fel a figyelmüket. Az első, hogy miközben a világ népessége növekszik, az Európai Unióban 2015-ben történt meg először, hogy az Eurostat adatai szerint a halálozások száma meghaladta a születések számát. Elszomorító európai demográfiai valóság. Mivel a születési ráta az alapvető és elsődleges meghatározója a demográfiai trendeknek, a jövőben nagyobb hangsúlyt kell fektetni arra, hogy a családoknak nyújtott különleges támogatások révén ösztönözzük a párokat a gyermekvállalásra. A másik fontos jelenség a vidéki területek elnéptelenedése, a munkaerő elvándorlása és az agyelszívás brain drain jelensége, melynek kapcsán kollégáinkkal itt a Régiók Bizottságában folyamatosan kongatjuk a vészharangot. Éppen ezért a kohéziós politikának a jövőben kiemelt figyelmet kell fordítania a vidéki térségek problémájának megoldására, a már meglévő eszközeinket pedig ennek szolgálatába kell állítanunk. Biztos vagyok benne, hogy Šuica alelnök asszony személyében partnerre találnak az európai városok és régiók ebben a munkában. Köszönöm szépen!
Thank you. I would please like to ask you, dear colleagues, to be less than 1 minute because the schedule of the Vice President is pressing us. Mr. Horta, please. Mr. Horta.
Muito obrigado, Sr. Presidente. Eu ouvi com atenção a Sra. Vice-Presidente e eu permitia-me chamar-lhe a sua atenção para o seguinte. Creio que ou o futuro da Europa assenta na democracia ou não terá futuro. E quando nós falamos da democracia, significa seriamente o envolvimento das pessoas através das autarquias e das regiões na resolução dos seus problemas. Portanto, a nossa participação no Comitê das Regiões, dando voz aos municípios e às regiões, creio que é condição essencial do sucesso da nossa conferência. Penso que há lições recentes que nós devemos ter muito em conta. O que se passou no Brexit, o que está a passar em tantos países da Europa, fundamentalmente aqueles que são tão importantes para a construção europeia, como a Alemanha e a França, deve nos preocupar. e deve-nos perceber e deve-nos dar a importância do que é envolver as pessoas no projeto europeu. Eu falo em nome de um município que é o segundo mais populoso do meu país. Tenho cerca de 400 mil pessoas. É aí que eu sinto aquilo que é o afastamento das pessoas em relação à Europa. É aí que eu tenho que responder a muitos dos anseios que as pessoas têm. Aí é que eu muitas vezes tenho que confrontar o Governo com aquilo que eu entendo que é o bem-estar das minhas populações. Tudo isto tem que ser e tem que ter uma voz ao mais alto nível em termos europeus. Creio que, Sra. Vice-Presidente, e com isto termino, que o conceito de democracia europeia deve nos preocupar seriamente. E eu digo-lhe que preocupa-me quando no Conselho da Europa eu vejo na agenda um tema chamado Mayors Under
Thank you
Pressure.
very much,
Eu
dear
acabo,
colleague.
Sr. Presidente. Mayors Under Pressure. E com isto significa todo um mundo de problemas em que o nosso comitê, através do CIVEX, não deve ser alheio. Muito obrigado.
Thank you. Mr. Whoop, please.
Ja, Frau Vizepräsidentin, ich freue mich und halte es auch für ganz wichtig, dass es endlich nach dem Weißbuch und nach den Reflexionspapieren wieder einen neuen Impuls gibt für die Diskussion zur Zukunft Europas. Der ist notwendiger denn je und ist auch gut ausgerichtet, weil er so breit aufgestellt ist. Ich bin zwar noch skeptisch, hoffe aber, dass der Rat darin auch eine Chance sieht, denn es geht darum, dass wir ein Commitment erhalten zu dem Prozess selbst und vor allem zu den Ergebnissen, die auch ernsthaft umgesetzt werden müssen. Was die Bürgerbeteiligung angeht, so denke ich, ist einiges schon gesagt worden, das muss noch mal diskutiert und vertieft werden. Ich meine, dass der Prozess selbst Möglichkeiten gibt, auch uns als ADR-Mitglieder mit hier einzubauen, weil wir dort vor Ort etwas einbringen können. Es geht auch darum, die Diskussionen so zu gestalten, dass die Themen, die den Bürgern wirklich auf den Nägeln brennen, auch diskutiert werden und dass sie strukturiert, vertieft diskutiert werden und dass es um die Umsetzungsperspektive geht. Für uns werden damit Fragen der sozialen Dimension sicherlich eine sehr große Rolle spielen.
Thank you very much. Mr. Frey, please.
Frau Kommissarin, es ist sehr zu begrüßen, dass die Kommission der Bürgerbeteiligung mehr Bedeutung einräumt, wenn es um die Zukunft unserer Gemeinschaft geht. Die in meiner Region grün geführte Landesregierung wendet die Politik des Gehörtwerdens seit vielen Jahren an. Dabei spielen besonders die Bürger, die mit dem Zufallsprinzip ausgewählt werden, eine große Rolle, weil sie nicht mit vorgefertigten Sprechzetteln kommen. Ich kann dieses Vorgehen uneingeschränkt unterstützen und empfehlen und auch auf unsere Änderungsanträge im Rahmen der Resolution hinweisen, die auch von einigen Fraktionen unterstützt werden. Denn nur wenn Bürgerbeteiligung auch handwerklich gut ausgeführt ist und ernsthaft ausgeführt wird, dann erzielt sie Erfolge. Durch eine scheinbare Beteiligung würde man die Abwendung der Bürgerinnen und Bürger von ihrem Gemeinwesen erreichen, und letzteres wäre Gift für die Gemeinschaft. Es ist zu begrüßen, dass die Kommission den Vorschlag für die Zukunftskonferenz gemacht hat und sich auch weiterhin positiv zu ambitionierten Vorschlag des Parlaments positioniert. Die Kommission muss aber jetzt zu ihrem Versprechen stehen und dieses Projekt bald mit konkretem Inhalt und qualitativen Gesichtspunkten präzisieren. Danke.
Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Magyar.
Thank you. Tisztelt elnök úr, alelnök asszony! A konferencia sorozat kiváló lehetőséget ad a tagállamok és az érintett felek, köztük az önkormányzatok szempontjainak nem csak ütköztetésére, hanem a közös nevezők megtalálására is. Akár a szerződések módosítása is szóba jöhet, azonban vegyük komolyan a szabályokat. A közösen rögzített érvényes szabályok lopakodó megkerülése és felülírása nem fogadható el. Fontos a konszenzus. Nem lehet, hogy egy intézmény, régió vagy egy tagállam dominánsan rátelepedjen a folyamatra. Mi régiók a folyamat aktív részesei akarunk lenni mindenütt Európában, és nem csak a fővárosokban. Természetesen elfogadva, hogy a végleges döntéseket csak az Európai Tanács hozhatja meg. Utolsó gondolat, be kell vonni a nyugat-balkáni államokat is, hiszen az ő jövőjükről is szó van. Köszönöm a szót.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Stanowska, please.
Szanowny Panie Przewodniczący, Szanowna Pani Przewodnicząca, bardzo się cieszę, że głos obywateli ma być decydujący, dlatego pozwólcie Państwo, że nie tylko w imieniu mieszkańców Łodzi, ale również 12 metropolii polskich zrzeszonych w Unii Metropolii Poproszę o jedno. Poproszę, żeby w ramach toczącej się obecnie debaty przedstawiciele Komisji Europejskiej zwrócili uwagę na to, aby środki na transformację klimatyczną w ramach Europejskiego Zielonego Ładu mogły być bezpośrednio dostępne również dla samorządów lokalnych. Jesteśmy przekonani, że stworzenie specjalnego programu dedykowanego, operacyjnego programu dedykowanego miastom dałoby nam wszystkim pole do wspólnej współpracy w zakresie wdrażania postanowień Europejskiego Zielonego Ładu, o co serdecznie jako prezydent miasta zabiegam. Dziękuję bardzo.
Thank you very much. Mr. Dobroslavich, please.
Hvala predsjedniče. Poštovana potpredsjednice Šuica, demokracija i demografija su područja djelovanja Europske komisije koja su s jedne strane aktualna i zahtjevna, a s druge strane presudna za daljnji razvoj država članica i Europske unije u cjelini. Reći ću to na primjeru demografije. Velik dio Europe trpi danas negativna demografska kretanja. Slab prirast stanovništva, visok udio starije populacije, odseljavanje iz nerazvijenih u razvijena područja i države, odseljavanje s ruralnih područja u gradove. Posebno se to odnosi na obrazovane i mlade. Moramo naći odgovore na ove izazove. Uvjeren sam da će to potpredsjednica učiniti jer poznam njenu predanost i njeno iskustvo i također se pridružujem onim mišljenjima da odbor regija treba i može biti partner u ovom poslu.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Forde, please.
Uachtarán agus bhfuil go ciste na régiún. I had the pleasure of meeting Ms. Susha last summer at the EPP Women's Conference in Tallinn and hearing her expertise. Since subsidiarity is a core principle of the EU, I share my colleagues' desire that adequate and vital representation from COR is into the work of the Conference on the Future of Europe. I welcome the draft resolution which calls for existing public participatory democracy tools from local and regional levels. Ireland has great examples of such work. Our Corlin and Oak, since you mentioned the youth, is a youth conference of 31 groups throughout Ireland. We have a citizens' assembly, public participation networks and local community development committees. In my own city of Cork, there are over 200 community organisations, pillar and public representatives involved who can be reached at one click of a button. Imagine, with little additional resources and a clear remit, we can have real people talking about real issues and solutions which directly affect them, directly to the EU for the benefit of all. We do not need to reinvent all of the wheel. However, it is important to find the correct balance between empowering citizens and the role of elected representatives. Members who are accountable, and I urge the conference to ensure that this fine line is respected.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bianchi, please.
Grazie Presidente. A nostro avviso sarà fondamentale garantire il coinvolgimento della conferenza di tutti i parlamenti nazionali e regionali, i quali godono di maggiore legittimità democratica. Non crediamo che l'unico risultato di questa conferenza possa essere già definito semplicisticamente in una maggiore integrazione europea. I nostri cittadini vogliono vedere un maggior rispetto della sovranità nazionale e una cooperazione a livello europeo soltanto quando necessaria. I nostri cittadini vogliono vedere i loro problemi quotidiani irrisolti dal livello di governo più vicino a loro e vedere l'Unione Europea in azione solo dove necessario nel rispetto del principio di sussidiarietà. Concludo, Presidente, affermando che in qualità di rappresentanti locali e regionali dobbiamo sfruttare lo slancio di questa conferenza per chiedere un ruolo più forte per il nostro Comitato nel sistema decisionale dell'Unione Europea. Dobbiamo garantire che le opinioni delle regioni siano prese in seria considerazione nelle istituzioni europee, sino anche alla creazione di un vero Senato delle regioni e delle autonomie locali in ottemperanza al già citato principio di sussidiarietà. Grazie.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Liddell-Rossman, please.
Vielen Dank, Herr Präsident. Geschätzte Vizepräsidentin, natürlich begrüße auch ich die Initiative von unserer Kommissionspräsidentin Ursula von der Leyen. Es geht um unsere gemeinsame Zukunft und wir dürfen uns nicht ausrasten auf Erreichtem, sondern wir dürfen sie natürlich auch durchaus engagiert mitgestalten. Aber ich schließe mir allen Vorrednerinnen und Vorrednern an, dass es natürlich auch wichtig ist, dass alle maßgeblichen Player, sei es auf der europäischen, auf der nationalen, aber eben auch auf der regionalen Ebene auf Augenhöhe gemeinsam mit einbezogen werden, weil genau hier in den Regionen wird die Europäische Union im Kleinsten gelebt und verstanden und man ist direkt mit den Anliegen der Bürgerinnen und Bürger konfrontiert. Aber für die Zukunft ist auch eine grenzüberschreitende Zusammenarbeit immer mehr wichtig, genauso wie bei uns zum Beispiel in der Euregio, Tirol, Südtirol, Trentino, wo man sehr viele Themen weiterbringen kann und Teilerfolge erzielt hat. Und in dieser territorialen, aber auch makroregionalen Zusammenarbeit liegt für mich ein ganz großes Potenzial der Zukunft, das wir auch für unsere gemeinsame Zukunft nützen müssen.
Thank you very much. Mr. Schwarzkiefer.
Sehr verehrter Herr Präsident, sehr verehrte Herr Vizepräsidenten, es freut mich sehr, dass ich als jüngstes Mitglied des Ausschusses der Regionen zu einem so wichtigen Thema wie die Konferenz zur Zukunft Europas meine erste Wortmeldung haben darf. Die enormen Lohnunterschiede innerhalb der Europäischen Union sind gefährlich für unsere Zukunft. Nehmen wir das Beispiel meiner Heimatregion, des Komitats Pránau-Baranya in Südungarn, wo man rund 500–600 Euro netto verdient. Für die gleiche Arbeit kriegt man mindestens doppelt so viel in Westeuropa und dieser Unterschied verursacht eine massive Abwanderung. Unsere weniger entwickelte Region werden leer und in den kleinen Gemeinden findet man keine Jugendlichen. Und was wir feststellen können, ohne prosperierende Regionen gibt es kein prosperierendes Europa. Entvölkerte und veraltete Regionen können aber nicht prosperieren. Deshalb braucht man in Europa unter anderem auch eine rapide Annäherung der Löhne in West und Ost. Das Thema der Lohnunion soll also an der Tagesordnung der Konferenz sein. Es geht ja um die Zukunft meiner Generation. Dankeschön.
Thank you, Mr. Turk.
Potpredsjednica Europske komisije, zaista čestitamo na odabiru na ovu vrlo tešku i odgovornu funkciju. Znajući vas i kao gradonačelnicu uspješnog grada, dijeleći sa vama klupe u Hrvatskom parlamentu prije ponešto godina i kroz funkciju u parlamentu, ne sumnjam da ćete ovaj odgovoran posao raditi i više nego kvalitetno. Dakle, neosporna je činjenica da mi u odboru regija gotovo svi dolazimo iz redova lokalnog i regionalnog nivoa, te kao načelnici općina, gradonačelnici, župani, lokalni lideri u stalnoj smo komunikaciji sa našim građanima. I zapravo prava spona kada govorimo o temi koja se zove budućnost Europe. Podsjetit ću se da ste rekli, a nakon zadnjih europskih izbora, da trebamo iskoristiti upravo zamah visokim odazivom birača na posljednjim europarlamentarnim izborima te odgovoriti na taj izazov pozivom na djelovanje. Ja sam uvjerenja, a bilo mi drago da i potvrdite da upravo ove riječi sada to i potvrđuju. Hvala.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hanić.
Hvala predsjedniče, poštovana potpredsjednice. Europski odbor regija već duže vrijeme naglašava važnost dijaloga građana o budućnosti Europske unije. Kao član odbora regija podržavam ovu konferenciju jer smatram da europski građani žele i trebaju biti uključeni u donošenje odluka. Oni žele da se njihov glas čuje u Europskoj uniji i mi im tu moramo dati priliku da se uključe u različite rasprave. Samo dijalogom sa građanima možemo utvrditi naše prioritete i riješiti pitanja koja zabrinjavaju naše buduće generacije. Komunikacijom s građanima na lokalnoj i područnoj razini možemo dobiti široki raspon različitih stajališta koja održavaju raznolikost u Europi, što nam može pomoći u kreiranju lokalnih i regionalnih politika za sveopći napredak naše zajednice. Moram naglasiti važnost pristupa odozgo prema gore, koji Europski odbor žustro zastupa, s obzirom da jedino tim načinom možemo riješiti probleme naših građana. Ova konferencija nam omogućuje da razmijenimo mišljenje sa europskim građanima, da ih slušamo te da učvrstimo i povratimo njihovo povjerenje u institucije Europske unije. Nadam se, draga Dubravka, da ćete svoje iskustvo kao dugogodišnja gradonačelnica Dubrovnika podijeliti sa svojim kolegama u Europskoj uniji te time doprinijeti da se glas regionalnih i lokalnih čelnika i europskih građana čuje i u institucijama Europske unije. Hvala.
Thank you. Mr. Karagiannis, παρακαλώ.
Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ, κύριε Πρόεδρε. Κύριε Αντιπρόεδρε, πολύ σωστά είπατε στην εισαγωγή σας ότι τα κράτη-μέλη και οι τοπικές αρχές έχουν πραγματοποιήσει διαλόγους και διαβουλεύσεις με τους πολίτες σχετικά με το μέλλον της Ευρώπης. Εμείς ακούσαμε, λάβαμε και στείλαμε τα μηνύματα. Οι πολίτες ανησυχούν. Ανησυχούν για την καταστροφή του φυσικού περιβάλλοντος, για το προσφυγικό, το μεταναστευτικό, για την εξωτερική πολιτική, για τα κοινωνικά προβλήματα, για την αλληλεγγύη μεταξύ των λαών. Εμείς μεταφέρουμε τη φωνή των πολιτών στα ευρωπαϊκά θεσμικά όργανα. Εμείς είμαστε η φωνή των πολιτών στην Ευρωπαϊκή Ένωση. Εσείς τι θα κάνετε, κύριε Αντιπρόεδρε, στη διάσκεψη χωρίς εμάς για μια καλύτερη Ευρώπη και για τη βελτίωση της ποιότητας ζωής των πολιτών. Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Εμείς ευχαριστούμε. Miss Fernández Viana, please.
Señora comisaria, quiero en primer lugar felicitarla por su nombramiento y darle la bienvenida al Comité Europeo de las Regiones. Vengo de Cantabria, una región de España pequeña, de montaña, que tiene algo muy claro: no habrá futuro para Europa si su población sigue envejeciendo y si no encontramos soluciones viables para este problema. Quiero trasladarle un mensaje de Cantabria. Las regiones estamos poniendo en marcha estrategias para evitar el abandono de las zonas rurales. Las ponemos a su disposición para que desde la Comisión Europea puedan favorecer el intercambio de buenas prácticas entre los diferentes territorios europeos. Y quiero, para terminar, hacerle una pregunta. ¿Cómo van a contribuir los diferentes programas europeos a paliar las consecuencias del despoblamiento en nuestras regiones? ¿Cómo nos va a apoyar la Unión Europea en el desarrollo de políticas que permitan a Cantabria mantener los colegios, los hospitales, las zonas sociales del envejecimiento de la población y adaptarlo a las políticas de transporte para garantizar la movilidad y aumentar la interconectividad de los territorios en riesgo de despoblación o prácticamente envejecidos? Muchísimas gracias y en Cantabria la esperamos con los brazos abiertos.
Muchas gracias. Mr. Trnka, please.
Vážená pani podpredsednička, vážení členovia výboru, voľby do Európskeho parlamentu a aktivnejšia účasť občanov v nás vzbudili pocit spokojnosti so spôsobom fungovania demokracie v Európskej únii. Ľudia sa opäť začali zaujímať o európske veci verejné a je tu svetlo nádeje, ktoré nám všetkým dáva silu a motiváciu ešte viac bojovať za európsku myšlienku a jej hodnoty. Vítam preto pozvánku do diskusie Európskej komisie všetkých Európanov a hlavne mladých Európanov. Vnímam ju však ako začiatok cesty, na konci ktorej je skutočná participatívna demokracia, v ktorej práve regióny ako nositelia prístupu z dola nahor predstavujú hnaciu silu zmien a pokroku. Preto nás vyzývam, aby toto fórum využilo svoje možnosti naplno. Občania musia reálne pocítiť zlepšenie svojich životov. Sú to práve regióny, ktoré majú nesmierny potenciál ich životy zásadne ovplyvniť. Preto musíme vytvárať ďalšie komunikačné a kompetenčné nástroje na posilnenie tých regiónov, ktoré ich nemajú dostatočné, tak, aby občania videli a cítili ich význam. Ďakujem.
Thank you very much, and we end our discussion with Mr. Giorgos Patoulis.
Κύριε Πρόεδρε, όλοι όσοι βρισκόμαστε σήμερα εδώ, μοιραζόμαστε ένα κοινό όραμα και έχουμε συμφωνήσει ότι υπηρετούμε τις ίδιες προτεραιότητες όσον αφορά την ενσωμάτωση των στόχων της βιώσιμης ανάπτυξης στην Ευρώπη. Όμως δεν αρκεί σήμερα να μιλάμε για στόχους βιώσιμης ανάπτυξης, εάν δεν αναλάβουμε όλοι μας δράσεις στις χώρες μας, στις τοπικές κοινωνίες, να δώσουμε νέα πνοή και όθηση στην ιδέα της Ευρώπης, στις αξίες που αυτή πρεσβεύει. Δεν πρέπει να εθελοτυφλούμε. Σήμερα ζούμε εποχή με λιγότερη Ευρώπη. Ο κόσμος γίνεται όλο και λιγότερο ευρωπαϊκός, όλο και λιγότερο δυτικός. Το κέντρο βάρους των κρίσιμων αποφάσεων που αφορούν το μέλλον των λαών μας, του πλανήτη, αλλά και οι πόροι, μετατοπίζονται μακριά από την ήπειρό μας. Το παράδοξο είναι ότι ακόμα και οι ίδιες οι χώρες μας γίνονται λιγότερο ευρωπαϊκές, αφού ισχυροποιούνται πολιτικά δυνάμεις που αμφισβητούν ευθέως το παραδοσιακό ευρωπαϊκό μοντέλο διακυβέρνησης και τις αξίες που εμείς υπηρετούμε. Ο τρόπος διαχείρισης του προσφυγικού ζητήματος είναι ενδεικτικός της αλλαγής που επιτελείται. Η λογική των κλειστών συνόρων δεν είναι λογική της ευρωπαϊκής ιδέας. Η έλλειψη αλληλεγγύης μεταξύ των ευρωπαϊκών κρατών σε μια σειρά από περιπτώσεις αμφισβητεί ευθέως τον κορμό της ευρωπαϊκής ιδέας. Η έλλειψη επικοινωνίας με το μέσο ευρωπαίο πολίτη ενισχύει την κατάσταση αυτή που για να μην γίνει αναστρέψιμη θα πρέπει να αναλάβουμε πρωτοβουλίες. Η Ευρώπη έχει περάσει και παλαιότερα τέτοιες στιγμές. Αυτή όμως είναι σοβαρή. Οφείλουμε λοιπόν να ενώσουμε όλοι τις δυνάμεις μας για να βρούμε ξανά την ταυτότητά μας. Γιατί κανένας στόχος βιώσιμης ανάπτυξης δεν μπορεί να υπάρξει χωρίς ισχυρή Ευρώπη. Και είμαι σίγουρος, κύριε Πρόεδρε, εσείς, το Προεδρείο, αλλά και όλη η Επιτροπή των Περιφερειών της Ευρώπης σήμερα και όλο το επόμενο διάστημα θα δώσει τη δική του απάντηση. Σας ευχαριστώ πολύ και καλές επιτυχίες στο έργο σας.
Ευχαριστούμε πολύ, κύριε Πατούλη. So, Ms. Vice President, I think the floor is yours now for your answers, your final comments on this very important debate that we had today, and thank you for staying so long.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this valuable exchange of views. This was very, very precious to me, and if I what all of you said was your concern about your voice in the conference on the future of Europe. I want to reassure you once again that your voice will be heard and the voice of citizens will be heard through you. Not to mention again 1 million of elected representatives, but not only elected representatives, but the citizens. Someone was mentioning random selected citizens. Of course, this will be one of the methods how to include citizens in this exercise. But if I may say, many of you were concerned with the demographic aspect of my portfolio, with aging and with work and life balance. So let me tell you a few words about the connection about these two words, democracy and demography. Some of my citizens and colleagues started asking me at the beginning of this term, what do these two terms have in common? But they have a lot in common. So there is evident demographic change all over Europe. People tend to move from rural to urban areas, as you rightly said. People tend to move from east to west, and this is really a challenge, if not to say a problem. So demographic change makes people feel left behind. And then they start blaming democracy for such status. But democracy is not guilty for demographic change. But they start not believing anymore in democratic institutions. They don't want to take part into democratic elections. And then, but it's not democracy, it's demographic change. So we have to tackle the reasons for this demographic change. We know the reasons, but we have to start thinking how to revitalize all these rural areas which are not now without population, and this is what I'm starting to do at this moment. At the end of the March or beginning of April, it's on the agenda of the college, the demographic impact of demography on each and every sector of life in European Union. So this is going to be made by the end of March or beginning April, and then we will see what is the state of play all over Europe. And then After that, we'll try to offer a toolbox. We know that this is within the member states' competence, but still, I think recommendations from the European level can help and can be acceptable. So we know that aging is a problem. In the last 20 years, according to Eurostat, we Europeans live 6 years more. Living 6 years more means that someone has to fill in pension funds. Who is going to fill these pension funds? So life expectancy is more and more, and we have to find solutions for this challenge. This is not a problem, but this is a very good opportunity to enhance silver economy. So we are thinking about this, and this will be a horizontal approach with the Commissioner for Agriculture, Commissioner for Cohesion or Regional Policy, Commissioner for Education, for Transport, so we know that connectivity is also a problem. When we talk about rural areas, we don't talk only about, when we say infrastructure, we don't think only sewage system and waterways. We think about digital connectivity, not only classical infrastructure. Once they have broadband internet all over Europe, you can work from your home, as it is the case at the moment in Finland. You have more than 40% of jobs which can be done remotely from their homes. So we have to think about new innovative methods in order to keep our citizens live in their homes or their regions, their villages in the country. And this is one of big challenges in this Commission. So we will try to do much in this area. Brain drain, or if you wish, nowadays it's politically correct to call it brain circulation, because people go due to freedom of movement. You can move freely all over Europe without having working permits. People move from different reasons, not only because of living standard, but because of education, because of gaining new skills. People move because they want to get married somewhere else. So there are different reasons for their movements. But so we cannot blame freedom of movement for this. We have to find solutions, and we are trying to do our best on behalf of the Commission. But once I have to highlight, we know that this is member states' competence and we don't want to interfere, but still we think that we can be of help for you. Regarding your concerns that the Committee of the Regions won't be included, it will be included, but you have to bear in mind treaty. In treaty there are 3 co-legislators: Council, Commission, and Parliament. So I have to stress this, but of course you are going to be our partner, as I said, but bear in mind that treaty says that there are 3 co-legislators, but of course we want to be close to citizens. And if I may say a few words in my mother tongue, in Croatian, to answer my dear Croatian colleagues. Ako mogu odgovoriti na hrvatskom mojim dragim kolegama iz Hrvatske, da, više od 50% građana je izašlo na ove izbore, što je bio rezultat u odnosu na prije 20 godina je zadnji put bio takav rezultat na europskim izborima, što znači da su građani željeli nam nešto poručiti, željeli su reći da žele sudjelovati, i to je razlog zašto je uopće pokrenuta ova konferencija. Pokrenuta je da bismo odgovorili na taj izazov, i to je razlog zašto krećemo s ovom konferencijom, u nadi da ćemo se uspjeti približiti građanima. Činjenica je da postoji praznina između nas, političara i građana, to je evidentno. Činjenica je da, vrlo otvoreno ću reći, da rastu ekstremističke ideje, da ih ne nazovem populističkim, bilo na krajnjoj ljevici, bilo na krajnjoj desnici, i razlog je da se približimo građanima, da mi budemo blizu, da vidimo koje su to problemi, koje su to brige, koji su to strahovi europskih građana, i zbog čega mi nismo u stanju odgovoriti na njihove zahtjeve. Dakle, ono što želimo ovom konferencijom čuti ih i odmah adekvatno odgovoriti putem bilo zakonodavnih aktivnosti, bilo putem rezolucija, bilo, kao što sam malo prije rekla, možda čak i promjenom ugovora. Međutim, to je zadnja mjera koju bismo željeli upotrijebiti, budući da ima već puno zakonodavnih akata koji nisu implementirani. To je ono o čemu vi sigurno znate. To conclude, I want to thank all of you for this very good exchange of views. This is not our last time that we meet. I'm looking forward to your next plenary meeting, and of course I will be more precise. Then we will know more. We will have guidelines. We will be better equipped, and I hope to start this very complex exercise on the Day of Europe, symbolically enough, 75 years after the Second World War, and I think we can start together, not only Dubrovnik, but all over Europe in different municipalities, different regions, different towns, and looking forward to your contribution to this exercise. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much, Vice President. Thank you.